friendly. Good to have you with us. Well, hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings. And of all the things that I did to set this all up, I've just realised I haven't changed the banner up here. Change that immediately. I hope you're well. This is very much, as you can probably tell, very much a off-the-cuff video. I just thought I need to brush up on some IFR skills and all that sort of thing. So I thought, why not take the King Air, which I haven't flown in a long time, and take her up to Newcastle from Farnborough. So that is exactly what we are going to do. So let's just quickly change this here and try and have some semblance of blummin' professionalism by getting our things set up in the first place. Do you know, it's funny, I've actually been sitting here just testing a few things, but more in terms of controls and some other bits and pieces, and changing mics around and just getting some bits and pieces done, and not realizing that I had things set up the wrong way. So anyway, I've done that now, so that's all. That should be good to go. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know in the chat if not. I'm sure you will. Hello to Aidan. Hello to Captain Spitfire. Hope you're doing well. Good to have you on board. So a couple of caveats first of all. Things are going to go wrong in this flight. This is the kind of flight that I like to do once in a while. Let's put that tracking back on. It's the kind of flight I like to do once in a while, if anything, just to kick my own arse. So I've not flown the King Air in a long time. I did a lot of VA flying with it, a lot of IFR flying with it, and It is a beautiful, beautiful aeroplane. So yeah, not flown it for a while. I've got the latest beta version of Pilot2ATC, so giving that a try. Every flight I've done in it recently, certainly the last 3 or 4 times, something's gone wrong. Probably my fault for using a beta, but at some point during the flight, the ATC decides to go off and get a cup of tea, and it all goes very quiet. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to expect from that. But anyway, giving that another try, and we will see what happens. So now, if I just make sure I've got the right screen up here, and let's have a look at where we're going to be going. So we're taking off here from Farnborough. We're going to be using the Hazel 2 Lima departure, and then scootling down here to Southampton, and then all the way up here, and we are going to be coming into Newcastle here. We're going to be using the what have we got? The RIMPT 1 November arrival. So that should be quite interesting. Weather today is murky, really. There's no other way of describing it. Murky is about as technical as you're going to get on this channel this morning. I'm already beginning to think this was a mistake, but it could be quite entertaining for you. This is what happens, knee-jerk reaction, get up, get out of bed, do a few things, and then think, do you know what, why don't I stream IFR in the King Air in murk weather? Exactly. Okay, so let's get things going. Oh yeah, let me just show you this as well. So we're going to be using Pilot2ATC. Pilot2ATC is basically computer-driven, obviously. It's taking my speech recognition, so I have to talk to it in a certain way. So if I start sounding a little bit like an android, that's why, because I have to talk to it in a certain way to get it to respond. And Copilot, blimey heck, where's he gone? Copilot is going to be changing the frequencies for me just to make life a bit easier, but I'll be doing the RT otherwise. Jolly good. Right, okay, so let's get back to here. Well done, at least you remembered to change the cameras. Maverick, what is the best UK warbird ever developed for any flight sim? Oh, okay, for me, and I know it's not the same for everybody, but for me, is probably the A2A Spitfire Mark 1, Mark 2 pack that was out for FSX or P3D. A very, very close second is their P51, and a very, very close second is their T6. Simple as that. Yeah. That's my opinion anyway, for what it's worth. Right, let's stop havering and get this blooming thing started. Right, so what I'm going to do first of all is we'll get one engine started. Then we can, actually no, we'll start both engines, and then we can get onto air traffic. And get all that side of it sorted out. So all I've got to do now is remember what to do. So let's just check parking brake is on. Yes, it is. Let's have the battery on. There we go. And let's get some lights on just to warn everyone that we're going to start winding things up a bit. That's interesting. Yep. Fan is on down there, the air conditioner. Right, where do we get to? Concentrate, boy, concentrate. Beacon is on. Nav lights are on. That's all good to go. Not too worried about anything else at the moment. Right, prop lever's fully forward. Just checking that I haven't got that into reverse. Right, so we'll start with engine 2 first. I'm just checking I haven't done anything silly and left anything. I think that's all we actually need. Yes, yes, yes. That's all good. Brilliant. Okay, so let's go for a start on engine 2. Or the right-hand engine, depending on how you want to call it. Watching here. Stabilising. Let's have some fuel. Check temperatures. That's all good. Wait till it gets to 50. Start off. Everything's looking nice. And now, to start engine 1, I'm going to put it into high idle just to help us along. Lovely sound. Okay, so same again, engine 1 or left engine. Here, stabilised, low idle, introduce some fuel, check temperatures. That gets to 50, start her off. That's all good, and engine 2 we can now bring back to low idle. In this King Air you rarely need to use high idle, there's only certain circumstances that you do that. Right, so let's get the generator on. Right. Oh, I forgot to reset. Okay, that's reminded me. So what I should have done after starting engine 2 is right generator should have reset and then on. Forgot to do that, silly boy. We'll put to environment off. Okay, that's good. That's set to auto. Okay. Then coming down here, we'll have oxygen, and then we get your head back. Rudder boost, electric trim, and have I forgotten anything else? We're going to set the, what's our cruising altitude? 250 is the highest we're going. Get back, lad. Get back. Happy with the rate there. That's so good. What have we got left on the board? Yes, 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 yes. That's okay. All good there. All good there. Happy with that. Okay. I've forgotten something down here, but I'm not sure. It kind of seems okay. That wasn't a full checklist startup, as you probably guessed. Bit of fun. Right, morning Jet, I hope you're well. William, good to see you here. Ah, thanks William. Okay, Rusty, how you doing? Let me see if I can play with those settings a little bit.
TOS system test okay.
How's that? Is that any better? If you could let me know in the chat. I do have a love for loud engine sounds in this. I got the what was it? I can't remember the name of it. FTS Plus or something like that. I got their sound pack for it, just to try and boost it a little bit. But there you go. So anyway, I hope that is better for you. Right. So just quick look around. Everything seems okay. Not worried about any of that. That's just because we've got the engines are in a low power state. The bleed air is there because I haven't put it into full beans yet, because we'll do that just before we enter the runway. Must remember to do that. And that is Okay. Another quick check here. Have I forgotten anything? I don't think so. Yeah. Can you? Is that better, William? I've turned the engines down, so that should be a little bit better for you. Do let me know. Right, okay, so let's get the ATIS. ATIS frequency 128.4.
Farnborough information Juliet, 950 Zulu winds are 070 at 10 knots. Visibility 6 miles. 1,200 scattered. 3,000 overcast. Temperature 10, dew point 7. Current QNH is 993. Arriving and departing runway 06. Farnborough information Juliet, 950 Zulu winds are 070 at 10 knots. Visibility 6 miles. 1,200 scattered.
That's interesting.
3,000 overcast. Temperature 10. Dew
ATIS has
point
taken over.
Current QNH
993.
993. Arriving and departing runway 06. Farnborough information Juliet, 950 Zulu winds are 070 at 10 knots. Visibility 6 miles.
Let's put it onto ground to try and shut it up. 1, 2, 1.
overcast.
Decimal 8.
Dew point 7. Current Q.
There we go. So the ATIS is driven by the ATC software, I should say. Oh, what have we got here? Right engine fire? That has never happened before. Okay, that has never happened before. How weird. Okay, let's have a look at the faults. That's strange. Swear to God, I say it every time. It's only when I do a live stream that things go wrong. How strange. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to come out of this one. I'm trying to think of a way I can reset it. Without starting everything all over again. So resetting all failures isn't working. Something has gone horribly wrong there. Okay, anyone in the chat who knows this aircraft, how do we cancel the engine fire? Sensible answers only, please. No clever dicks. Yeah, Canute, I wouldn't watch this if I was you. This is probably going to be well below your level. You're going to be biting the table, I should think. Reset all failures. Still there. How strange. That's a good point, William. Let's give that a try. In all the times I've flown this, I've never had an engine fire come up. I think this stream is in danger of ending very quickly. Okay, so let's see. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Repair right engine. No, I don't think that's going to do it, is it? I don't think that's going to do it. For whatever reason. That is not going to reset itself. And I hate to say it, but I think we're going to have to restart the flight to try and get this thing working again. How weird. Repair right engines, doing nothing. Reset all failures is doing nothing. If I go into the failures page, active failures, that says that there's no failures. Yeah, I'm a bit bamboozled by that. Okay. There's nothing else for it. Ugh, hate having to do this. Very odd. Okay, that's interesting. So my avionics is reset over here. So that's interesting. Seems to have gone through some transformation. Right, let's very quickly get back to where we were. So, parking brake is on, bloody blah blah. Battery on. Let's get some lights on. It's getting dark, isn't it? That's all good to go. Happy with that. Prop to full. Check the throttle. Ready with the right-hand condition lever. Quick look down here. Let's go. Keep an eye on the engine fire now, just see what it does. Okay. Stabilizing. Introduce some fuel. Temperature's good. 50. Starter off. Now we remember to cycle the generator. There we go. Checking no fire. No. And now we go high idle for our assisted generator start using right-hand engine. No fire. Okay, engine 1. Stable, low idle. No engine fire. All good so far. Okay, starter off. We will cycle generator and we will bring engine 2 back to low idle. So that is all tickety-boo. We have no fire. All good so far. Right, quick look down. Go through the flow. Bombity-bomb. Do-do-do. No, not that one. Flexi light on, just to let everyone know we're about to start moving. That's okay. Bleed air, we'll put to fire on. Carb temperature. Oh no, that's interesting. Oh, it's cabin temperatures. So, since that, whatever happened with the engine fire, there's a lot of things that have reset. So I wonder if there was, because I haven't flown it for a long time, I wonder if there was just something dodgy with this saved state or something like that. That does seem very odd. Anyway, shut up and let's get going. We've got some time to make up. Coming down here, let's have you and you on. Just familiarise myself with where everything is. That's all good. We're going to do that later on. Talking to myself here, we're going to turn the cabin alt down because we're not going to be going that high. Right. So we've got the ATS. I'm not going to bother doing that again. Let's come back and see. Let's do a couple of quick checks.
TOS system test OK.
Still set there. Can get rid of that. That's okay. We've got the alt alert going, which is fine because we haven't got that yet. And let's go for the ground frequency. Actually, tell you what, let's load in the flight plan very quickly. Catalogue. Port. There we go. There it is. And now that we've got, yeah, that's working fine. Now that the TDS GTN 750 is all tied up with our Navigraph, it's all lovely and sweet. Right, let's go back to the flight plan. So we need to put our procedures in. So I'm going to quickly pop back to here. Procedures, there's different ways of doing this. So we're using the Hayes to Lima. Departure, Hayes to Lima on a transition at Hazel. Oh, okay. For some reason that isn't in the... sorry, you're doing the wrong one. So runway 06, she told us we were going to be doing that, and the transition is at Hazel. So that's all good to go, can load that one in, and then our arrival is going to be the RIMT 1 November arrival, RIMT 1 November, and the transition is RIMTO, and that's all good. Runway at the moment we're anticipating 07. Okay. And we'll load our arrival. Cool. So that's all good. It makes such a difference now being able to tie in our GTN with our Navigraph. As I'm sure you know, it's rather wonderful. Okay. Right. So where do we get to? Let me have a quick look at the chat, just in case I'm missing anything. No. Oh. It all went a bit pear-shaped then. Right, so quick recap for myself more than anything. We've done the ATS, we've got the engine up and running, so both engines. We don't have any fires, which is very comforting. And everything else I'm happy with. The no fuel transfer is there because the throttles are pretty much an idle. The bleed air is in that amber because I haven't put it on to open yet. It's just on in via off. And the ignitions are green because I've got the automatic ignitions here. And the prop pitch, I actually forget. Have I forgotten something? Don't think. Oh, it's the auto feather, isn't it? I've got auto feather arm. Yeah, maybe just because they're in. I don't know. I have forgotten. I shall probably remember that in about half an hour. What else do I need to do? I need, let's have a quick look up here. I haven't done, I know there's a load of checks here to do with the battery. We can have a quick look at that. Just check. Generators are working fine. Yeah. The battery is good. That's okay. Should have done that start. Let's get some lights on. There we are. Right, so let's get our IFR clearance. Remember what I said before, by the way, you have to talk to it in a certain way, so if I do sound a little bit stilted, you'll know why, and this is the point where we actually find out if it's all connected up properly. Interested to see, I've got a military call sign, so interested to see how it responds. Farnborough ground, Camel 1 ready for IFR clearance.
Camel 1 is cleared to Echo Golf November Tango, climb via the Hayes to Lima departure, with the Hazel transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 06. Climb to 3,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 1 minute after departure. Radar director on 130.05. Squawk 5303.
Camel 1 is cleared to Echo Golf November Tango, climb via the Hayes to Lima departure, with the Hazel transition then as filed. Climb to 3,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 1 minute after departure. Radar director on 130.05. Squawk 5303.
Camel 1 read back correct. QNH is 9er3. Let us know when you're ready to taxi.
QNH is 9er3, Camel 1. Okay, let's change that. Okay, so quick look. I need to check. Yep, trim is good. Happy with that. The trim is one of those things that if you get that wrong, you can have a very nasty takeoff indeed. Right, taxi lights are on. That's so good. That's so good. Happy with that. Happy with that. So we have the flight plan in the box. I've got 3,000 feet on there. We've got the QNH set. This is all good to go. Camel 1 ready for departure.
Camel 1 contact tower on 122.77.
Tower on 122.77, Camel 1. Interesting. So ground isn't giving us taxi instructions. Oh, what did I say? I said ready for departure. Idiot. Okay. What have we got in the box? Now, this is where I've really probably confused it. This is my fault if it goes wrong. So 121.8. But this is exactly why I do these flights. I do them to kick myself up the arse and get it right. Find out where my weak points are. So let's see if they're going to give us taxi instructions. Ground, Camel 1 ready for taxi. Camel 1 ready for taxi. Yeah, I think I have probably buggered up that section of it. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look. BTT seems to be working. Camel 1 ready for taxi. One more try. Camel 1, ready to taxi.
Camel 1 taxi to runway 06 via taxiways Alpha. Hold short runway 06.
Taxi to runway 06 via taxiways Alpha. Hold short runway 06, Camel 1. Now, even though Pilot2ATC has got Navigraph tied up into it, it doesn't always recognise the correct taxiways, so you can manually amend those. So we can have a look at that in the meantime. So there we go. Seem to have lost head tracking now. Turn that off. Oh dear. It couldn't possibly. Try that. That's not working. Okay. Let's change that. Bear with me a moment. Just need to do a little bit of maintenance. Just restarting my head tracking software because that seemed to have gone US for a moment then. I swear it's so strange doing live streaming how things do go wrong. Okay, so now that seems to be working. There we go, got it back again. Okay. Let's do that. Let's get that back up there. So, it was basically saying taxi via Alpha, which isn't really that correct. If we look down here, we're actually taxiing via Foxtrot. But let's do that. Let's get going. Sorry, mate, you got in the way. Whoa. Back. We've just got to remember with turboprops is it doesn't take much to get them moving. Something I'd forgotten until now with this, and I keep meaning to change it. I know when FS Reborn came out with the FS 500, they had specific instructions for setting up the rudder pedals so that they were a little bit more realistic, and I'm remembering now when it's a little bit too late that this aircraft has got one of those almost like default aircraft behaviours where on the ground it's very, very wobbly. Outside. It's a lovely aircraft, this. But you do need to keep on top of it. Which I have not. It's been a long time since I've flown this, especially like this. Okay, let's just hold short at 06. Now, when I did a flight from here with Pilot2ATC before, I went all the way down to the end there, and this is the point where Pilot2ATC went dead, or down at the end of the runway. So I'm just going to see now if we still have a connection. Because that would be rather lovely if we do. Ready for departure, Camel 1.
Camel 1 remain this frequency until at runway hold point.
Okay, so it's not recognising this one, so let's tootle down to the next one. Okay, so that's locked there. That seems to have gone US. That's interesting. So we can't actually see what see what's going on with the aircraft. This is where you see your failures and all that sort of thing. I wonder if I need to update this. Maybe there's some new update that's come out, or maybe it's just one of those complete sim start or sim restart things. Right, while I'm here, let's get bleed air fully open. Boom, boom. That's all good. Don't need to turn the coffee on. Yes, there's a coffee. Look at that. Coffee. It's got everything, this aeroplane. Let's have landing lights on. Let's have strobes on. Not worried about anything else. Happy with that. Let's have a quick look over here. 21, happy with that. That's set there, 3,000 in the box. That's all good. Okay, let's try this again. Ready for departure, Camel 1.
Camel 1 remain this frequency until at runway hold point.
Okay, so this is the problem we're going to have. The I don't know which hold point Pilot2ATC thinks we should be at. So there's an Alpha over here, but that's runway 24. We're taking off on 06. So I'm not quite sure how I am meant to. Let's move it forward a bit. Sometimes you can actually drive the aircraft around, and eventually it will. ATC will actually, I guess, as it would do in real life, will actually talk to you. Let's bring it forward a little bit. Ready for departure, Camel 1.
Camel 1 remain this frequency until at runway hold point.
How can I trick it? How can I trick it? Not sure if I can trick it to go to the next step. This is obviously why it broke last time I used it, although last time it actually shut up and didn't say anything. But it's definitely not recognising my position on the hold point, and I'm reluctant to start taxiing around. If I start taxiing around, then we'll be here all day just driving it around the airport. Give it one more try and then I'm going to turn the damn thing off. I do have another idea though. Ready for departure, Camel 1.
Camel 1 remain this frequency
until
at runway.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly tootle up here. I would like to try and keep the ATC on. Now, when I did the video in the Comanche, you always get people in comments saying, oh, well, what you should have done is... yes, I'm aware that because I'm taking off, I can take off from this point here, and that I do not need to taxi up to the piano keys to take off. The arrows are here if you are landing. I understand that. What I'm doing is trying to get up to the other holding point, just to see if I can trigger it to allow us to keep the ATC in. This is not something you would do in real life. This is not a tutorial video, as you've probably guessed by now. This is just me, a poor stricken flight simmer, trying to get his bleeding ATC to work before he gives up on it. I'm hoping at some point ATC actually might suddenly chip in. At least they've not told me off for entering the runway. I'm going to try one more time from this point. And if that doesn't work, I'll tell you what, the temptation now to ditch this and get in a Spitfire and have some fun. Oh, this is why I don't fly airliners. Okay, let's try one more time. One more time. Ready for departure, Camel 1.
Camel 1 remain this frequency until at runway hold point.
But I am at the hold point. What do you want me to do? What hold point could it possibly? I mean, surely. AG, thank you very much. Much appreciated. You might not think that after this video. It's one of those videos where everything is going wrong. I mean, surely it's not that hold point. Surely it doesn't mean that one. I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to try something before I really don't want to give up. So I'm going to ignore, ground, and I'm going to change to tower and just see if I can bypass it. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but let's try and bypass it. Tower ready for departure, Camel 1.
Camel 1 winds are 080 at 12 knots cleared for takeoff. Runway 06 squawk 5303.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 06 squawking at 5303, Camel 1. Who needs ground? Ground controller, you have been fired. Right, let's stop prattling around and let's remember how to fly the aeroplane, eh? I'm loving the tower controller today. Thank you, Mom. Tower controller now saying to ground, hang on a minute, did you clear him to do a frequency transfer there? Ground controller saying, no, I was being difficult and I wanted him to sit there for the rest of the day because he's on a live stream and everything was going wrong. Okay, so quick check, everything's good. I'm not going to put, this is the King Air, don't need to put the levers into high idle unless it was a really short runway and we were messing around doing that sort of thing. That's all good, happy with that. Lights are fine, shouldn't really be sitting on the runway messing about, should have done all this before, but I'm just double checking again, but I'm happy with everything else. 3000 altitude set. Let's go. Oh, let's just get the departure set up, and also now we can do it in here, of course. Because now that TDS GTN XI 750 has got Navigraph, we can have our charts in there. Okay, that looks like we got the right thing. Was it Hazel? Whoa, sorry about that, folks. Didn't mean to slew your head over suddenly. Hazel to Lima is what we've got. Bit worried that this is still wrong. It makes me wonder if the engine fire thing that I had before is some kind of bug, because this whole panel here isn't working now. Really should have. Let's turn it off. If I turn it off, it's kind of staying on. Yeah, I think we've got a bug there, so we'll leave that. Okay. Hope you've signed the insurance waiver. Let's have some power. Gently with the power. Use about 90% for takeoff. There, straight away I'm feeling it. The rudder is so twitchy. Being on the centre line would be good. Positive rate of climb, tap the brakes, gear up. Trim, trim, trim. Come back on the RPM. Look at the cabin pressurization, that's working. Climbing into the berg. Yaw damper on. And
Carol
let's
1 contact Farnborough radar director on 130.05. Enjoy your morning.
ATC, God love her. Radar director on 130.05.
Aircraft calling Farnborough Tower.
Again, please. Radar director on 130.05, Camel 1. Right, okay, is that still working? Just have a quick look. There we go, thank you. Okay. Farnborough radar climbing to 3,000 feet, Camel 1. Got that syntax the wrong way around, didn't
Camel
I?
1 slow to 210 knots or less.
Oh, speed bust. Wilco, Camel 1. You amateur. It's interesting. Now, I wonder why. See, I'm already forgetting so much. Let's keep climbing. I have absolutely forgotten how to climb using the here, so we've got that there. Altitude select, climb, climb. Well, that's a bit silly. So nav is tracking quite nicely. Oh, got a nasty long pause there. Let's take that out of it. Doing a bit more trimming. See here, we're nicely on course on the departure. Just trying to figure out a few things here. Centre on 118.47. Take care.
Aircraft calling Farnborough.
Oh. Centre on 118.47. Take care. Camel 1. There is something very odd going on with this aeroplane. Say it, but I think something's broken. We might have to end the stream. Let's have a quick try and think this through, and I'll tell you in a second. Sorts of technical problems. Bear with me. ATC for a moment. Centre, Camel 1, climbing to 3,000 feet. So ATC possibly gone dead. Centre, Camel 1, climbing to 3,000 feet. Quick check. 118.4. Oh. Yeah, things are not good, are they? Centre, Camel 1, climbing to 3,000 feet. I think the ATC has died on us, so let's just try something. Camel 1, radio check. Okay, frequency, what was it, London 118.47. I've had this this before, and it was where, I don't know if it was where it had the the decimal in it, but or the extra 0.5, but this has happened to me before. Camel 1 radio check. Yeah, ATC's died. So let's take one problem out. Let's close the ATC. So where are we at the moment? We've got good nav. Having some real problems getting the aircraft to climb, but because my head tracking has crashed, now my sim has crashed. This really doesn't look good, folks. This stream could well be about to end. Oh no, we're back. Head tracking is back. Head tracking is back. We are en route. We've done the departure bit. We no longer have ATC. But I need to figure out what the hell is going on in this aeroplane. So I'm going to take us up to, let's come back. We're now going to climb. I'm going to put us onto standard barometric setting. And let's try and figure out what the hell is going on. So this is most frustrating. Like I don't have any what the hell's it doing now? Autopilot into climb mode, but it's not, it's sinking. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. Something I have just remembered, which was a problem I used to have in this, was that if I sometimes if I was talking to ATC, it would disconnect the autopilot. So I'm just going to test that. No, that's working. We're not climbing. I must have forgotten something. What have I forgotten? definitely gone wrong. Let's come out of that. Okay, so at least... No, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. Just checking my... Have I got any conflicts going on with my hardware? I don't think so. That's not doing anything. Is there anyone in the chat who flies this who can tell me if there's something that I'm missing? Because I am baffled, absolutely baffled. I'm back on the prop a little bit more. I'm rather wondering, because that is not working as it should do, that's locked up. So something's gone wrong with the sim with that. And the fact that the autopilot seems to be playing up as well, but I'm not sure if I've forgotten something in terms of how to change altitude on the autopilot and that kind of stuff. It's a weird feeling though, because I've flown this so many times and I keep thinking, but surely that's how it should be. Check the breakers. Good call. They all look okay. That looks okay. Because of this thing, I can't check if we got any failures because it won't let me. That instrument has just died on us. In hindsight, I wish I'd completely restarted the sim, because I think when we had that fire before, I think something has gone wrong, and just doing that quick restart hasn't solved it. Absolutely baffled. From memory, we've got an altitude in the box, and if I now set it to climb, it should just give us a nice kind of altitude change climb, but it's not. I've done that. That's all good. Nothing there. That's all good. Cabin pressurization is working. I wonder if I cycle this. No, because that's just going to move that down there, isn't it? Ah, right, that's come back to life now. Okay, that's come back to life. Active failures, none. Interesting. Autopilot is still on. We're on course. Aha, look, now it's working. Now it's working. So it must have been some kind of bug. And just changing the avionics configuration brought that back to life, and now everything's working. Never done that before. Never done that before. How very strange. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, Alpha. It's me blaming the aircraft, but it could be something funny happening with the TDS. But at least I know what to do next time to fix it. Very interesting. Well, unfortunately now, with all this messing about, I'm probably going to have to cut this short. I don't think I've got time to get us all the way to Newcastle, but we'll see how we go. Alan, do you know what? Maybe that's all it was, mate. Maybe that's all it was. You forget the clock, and it all goes, well, you know what it all goes. But I'm glad it's working now. That was driving me mad. It's a lovely aeroplane, isn't it? Right, let's have a quick look here. We can increase the throttle now that we're climbing. Climbing nicely. Quick check down here. Cabin? Who the hell's cabin? Cabin pressurization is working. Prop RPM, I've just tuned that down a little bit. And once we get into the cruise, I can put prop sync on. Speed is all good. We're still in this nice airways climb mode. You can also climb on IAS, which is quite good. But I'm not going to mess with it now that I've got the damn thing climbing. I'm going to leave it at that. Well, how strange. How strange. I must check to see if I need to update the King Air. Yeah, I think something was going on with that Alpha. Should have checked really, shouldn't I? There's definitely something playing up. But I'm just glad I fixed it. There's nothing more frustrating than, you know, flying, this kind of flying where you are obviously having to stick to certain parameters, you can't mess about, and then you start getting some gremlins. ATC, useless. We had our engine fired to start off with that wasn't there. Very odd. Anyway, we'll keep going. I'd totally forgotten I've got it on Volanta as well, and that all seems to be working. A quick look at the slightly off track, which is strange. Off track. It's because the nav had deselected. I wonder at what stage the nav had I'm kind of getting the impression the autopilot seems to keep changing. I'm sure I had nav in, which is why we've been holding the course we have, and then all of a sudden nav has gone. I wonder if that got disconnected when I was faffing about with this bit over here. Wow. This is definitely a good training flight for me, because anything that can go wrong seems to be going wrong. It would have been interesting enough for me if everything had just worked and it was just down to me trying to remember everything to do. But the fact that so many things have gone wrong. The ATC, do you know what? I really am thinking now. I'm just going to, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to. I like using it because it adds an extra level of immersion to it, doing this kind of flying. But I do think that maybe now is the time for me to stop. I'm interested to see what Beyond ATC does. That looks pretty cool. And now that they've changed what a lovely view. Now that they've changed their pricing model, it's a bit easier to understand. Loving that view. Do you know what? It doesn't matter how crap the weather is down there, it's always lovely up here, isn't it? It's one of the things I like about flight simming, actually. If it's a really nasty day weather-wise, jump in the sim, fly through the cloud, and then blue sky. Do some sunbathing, if you're brave. Okay, let's have a quick look at systems. That's okay. Happy with that. Autopilot is still engaged, nav and climb mode. That's all good. Just watching the torque. As we climb, we have to remember to keep moving that, unless of course we're got it on IS mode. Everything is looking fine here. Quick check of cabin pressurization. That's all good. Everything is fine over here. I've got the heater onto auto. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Cabin temperature. Put it into Celsius, because there we go, 21 degrees, so that's all good. That's all set up nicely. Everyone is toasty. There you go. So how is everybody? What's going on in the chat? Orbital, hello. I hope all is well with you, chap. Should we get the coffee on? Let's get the coffee on. On. There we go. Coffee's on. Do you know, I actually wish that really worked, because it'd be quite handy to have a coffee just appear from under the desk now. How handy would that be? Hello, what's that? How cool is that? Automatically it whacks the chart up as we're going overhead. I've not seen that before. That's Cowley. So let me lock that off here. Should we have a quick look on the map? Let's have a quick look on the map. See what we're up to. There we go. Can get rid of that now. Oh, that was Benson. Flew into there in the Chinook recently. Old Nick B007 has done a really nice Benson. His RAF bases are absolutely cracking. Hello, what's that? Okay, so that's fine. That's gone off because we're approaching 25 or flight level 250. Let's use the correct classification. Sorry, I'm just watching it to see what it's going to do now. Not sure I trust it much today. So it's going to bring us back down to flight level 250 on standard barometric setting. Alt is now on to show that that's what it's doing. Nav is on, so it shows that we're still on track. Everything is tickety-boo there. We can have prop sync on. That's all good. Now we can pick up some speed. What we got? We've got ground speed of 280 knots, which is rather fine. And everything else is good. Nothing on the panel here. Love it. Oh, orbital. I always do that. Thank you. There you go. So I was just having a look around, just changing, putting us into cruise mode, and as you can see, everything is looking good. Thanks for the shout out, Orbital. I always forget to change a screen at some point in the flight. But yeah, nothing on the Annunciator panel, which gives me a nice warm fuzzy feeling after all the problems we had. And more importantly, we have no fires. Lovely job, Lee. This is one of those moments where I wish I could somehow put music up on streams. Okay, just watching it now and it's turning, that's good. Keeping us where we should be. Like that. No nasty surprises. Don't want no more surprises on this flight, thank you very much. We've just had enough of them. Okay, we have just had enough of them. So, put the head tracking back on. So I'm going to try something here. Right. Hold on to your lunch. No, wrong one. Ooh, oh, it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. That's a shame. It's going to try and get us in the back. But it won't go there, so let's try that. Is this going to work? Bear with me. Actually, I keep forgetting that I don't use the, you know, like the preset views. I never use those. But of course, we've probably got something set up in here, haven't we? Okay, maybe not. Yeah, no, that's a shame. I was going to try and see if I could get us in the back. Something I've never tried before, apart from using the external view. But the problem is, by doing that, see you kind of bumping around. let's face it, that's enough to get you seasick. Maverick, what about Warbird appeals to you? Are you asking me, mate, or is it just generally in the stream? You're asking people in the chat, I mean, rather. Okay, just checking that we are turning as we're meant to, and the autopilot is still doing what it's meant to. That's good. I just have an interest in them. Always kind of have done. I like the vintage appeal of them. I like the way that they fly. I like the power that they've got, the sound of them, the look of them. My favourite kind of flying is flying around in a nice, hugely powered warbird over some beautiful scenery. I rarely do this kind of flying, which is the kind of ATC, flying an IFR route, flying the airways, that kind of stuff. I've just always liked warbirds in general, really. World War II mainly, but it's my thing. I know it's quite a niche thing. It's interesting actually how airliners seems to be the number one interest in flight sim. GA is also very popular. Warbirds is quite niche, but and I've, you know, that's just the way it always seems to have been, which is why, you know, it's difficult for a company like A2A to, it's not particularly commercially viable to work on warbirds for Microsoft Flight Simulator when everyone's screaming out for airliners and general aviation aircraft. Yeah, I did. Yeah, Flight Replicas released a Mark V, yes. I saw that. I'm not at the moment tempted to buy it, if I'm completely honest. I contrary to what a lot of people probably think, that having a YouTube channel doesn't mean that everybody just chucks freebies at you. And over the time, I've bought a lot of aircraft and things to do videos, and then never flown them again, and thought, you know, well, I've just wasted whatever just to make a video. And I certainly am not about to start asking developers for review copies and that sort of thing. Always very grateful when developers offer me review copies to make videos, and I tend to only make videos for things that I really like. I'm not interested in making review videos where I'm saying how something is crap. So I tend to avoid a lot of stuff. Now the Flight Replicas, I don't know if I want it at the moment. I'm certainly not going to buy it to make a video. I love the Flying Iron Mark 9. I wish A2A would bring their warbirds into the sim. But I might end up buying the Flight Replicas Mark 5, you know, if generally. And also, you know, there's a lot of people on the Discord. The Discord. Oh, hello. Let's have a look. Just reminded me. We do have a Discord if anyone is new and wants to come along. It's very much less a Discord about a YouTube channel. It's more about people who are into the same kind of flying. So not so much of the tube liners and that kind of thing. A lot of warbirds, a lot of GA and helicopters and that kind of stuff. So I've put the link in there. Come along and say hello, and I'll see you there. And I can't remember where I got to with that. What was I talking about? Yes, there's a lot of people on the Discord who are very experienced warbird pilots. We've got some real-world warbird pilots, which is quite an honour to have. and we've got people who've got very good knowledge of warbirds, and we've got some real word pilots as well. And I'm just going to wait and see if any of them pick it up and see what their view on it is. This isn't a review channel. You know, there's plenty of review channels out there that do an absolutely sterling job of it. That's not what I'm about. So, yeah, I'll see what people think. Oh, thank you, Maverick. That's much appreciated. Yeah, I try and keep the mix in of, because obviously I'm into helicopters as well now. Try and keep the mix in, but warbirds is where the channel's at. It's where it started and what it's really all about. So I do try and keep plenty of that in there. Right, well, down there, underneath all that white fluffy stuff, is Birmingham, believe it or not. But we're not going to see anything today with this overcast. Yeah, Alan, the 146. Everyone keeps telling me I should buy that, but I don't know. I just, everyone keeps telling me that I will absolutely love it. And I don't know, just something is holding me off on it. But I know that there's some people on the Discord who, you know, feel it's absolutely wonderful. I guess I just haven't been tempted enough yet. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look just there between the engine and the window, you can see some of the ground, and I love how realistic that looks in this sim. Absolutely beautiful. The lighting is just spot on. But yeah, warbirds is a bit of a niche. The channel is never going to be massive because I don't do lots of reviews, and B, you know, I don't do any tube liner stuff. This is about as close to tube liner stuff as you're going to get doing this kind of thing. Okay, that looks alright. We'll just come back a little bit more on the props. Getting quite a bit of stuttering. You're probably picking up on that. Actually, stuttering might be the wrong word. Kind of annoying pauses is probably a better word. I'm looking at updating my computer because it's, well, a good 5 years old now, and apart from the GPU, I've not updated anything else, and my CPU is quite old to run at, you know, full whack, and it's certainly bottlenecking my GPU. I'm so glad everything came to life when I messed around with the avionics. I don't mind telling you, I was seconds away from cancelling the flight and ending the stream, but that's all it needed just to get it running again. Yeah, that's the thing, Alpha. It's like, you know, you say yourself, and I know there's people on the Discord that absolutely swear by the 146. You know, it's one of those aircraft that you just got to have. I do genuinely sometimes wonder if I'm missing out on something big by not having it, but I'm just not sure. I guess my flying time tends to be quite limited, and I try and avoid any aircraft that you've got to do a lot of setting up to get it running. And I guess in my mind I'm always thinking the 146 is, you know, you've got a whole load of checklists to get it up and running and get it flying. Maybe that's wrong. But the King Air is an absolute beauty. It really is. Lovely aeroplane. Hope the sound's alright, by the way. I have turned the sound down on the OBS mixer, but obviously I can't hear what the output is. I can only hear the sim sound, which I've actually had to turn down in my own ear because it's belting it out. So let's have a quick look at where we are. This time I will get the OBS screen up so I remember not to leave it on. So we're just over Mansfield at the moment. At Sheffield Rotherham, and we've got a turning point here up at Upton. They're not a million miles from Newcastle. Rimtow here is our transition point onto the arrival. I've already loaded the arrival in, so that'll work nicely. I am thinking ahead. I'm going to get that wrong button. There we go. Let's just have a quick look at that. So we're going to first descent will be flight level 160. Okay. Flight level 90. We've got no ATC to vector us or anything like that. What approach shall we do? So runway advisory was 07. So do ILS runway 07, and we will do transition. Transition. Let's do that. Okay. Miracle, he remembered. So let's pop back in the cockpit. Let's get the head tracking back on. And let's have a look at here. So, back. Procedures. Approach. ILS 07. Transition. What did I say? You've got NT. Back. It's NT1. So we're going to go NT that one in the hope that that's it. We will load that. Oh joy, just lost the connection. So that is the... So good, just remember that. So we've got that set up. And then what I'm also going to do, just to try and save a bit of time, is And now we're back again. Frequencies. And again, because we've now got Navigraph all synced up, everything should be tickety-boo. So we've now got the ILS for 07 in the box, all ready for when we come in. Fantastic. The turn. This is the turn over Upton. The cloud is breaking a little bit. It's not complete overcast now like it was before. Right, just catch up on the chat. Okay, Alpha. Maybe I need to have a look at it sometime. Maybe I need to have a look at the 146 just to be sure. Deb and Trev Clark, hello. Why have you not featured the Milsim Chinook? I'd have thought perfect for your stream. Yes. Well, good question. I actually... I'm going to make a confession now, Deb and Trev Clark. I did actually record a video with the Chinook. I bought it straight on release. I made the video before the first patch came out. And there were a couple of things that weren't quite right, and also I had a technical issue with the sim, and it all went pear-shaped, and I had to stop the video. And I thought, okay, I'm going to come back to the Chinook once the update comes out. And then there were a couple of other projects that came up, a couple of launches, and I've not come back to it. I have flown the Chinook a couple of times. I just haven't streamed it or made a video on it yet, but I will do. It's great fun. I totally agree with you. It really is great fun. Had a good time flying it around Odium. I tried to do one of the missions. It was the mission with the with the embassy rescue, and yeah, I can't remember what went wrong now, but I remember the whole thing abruptly finished. With a few choice words from me, which luckily never got broadcast. But anyway, yeah, I will be doing the Chinook. It's lovely, and the sound is cracking. There is a live stream, recorded live stream, on the channel of a recent flight that we did, where we it was a helicopter flight, H145, but there was some Chinooks around, and we had a great time, and it was lovely hearing them. Right, so I've just put it into descent mode. I'm going to come back on the power. I'm coming down to flight level 160. This is the bit. Oh, that's really strange how it's doing that, pausing, and the sound is pausing as well. That's not good. Really sure what's causing that, but let's have a look. So we're descending now rather nicely. Sparky, how are you doing? It is an honour to have you here, sir. If you don't know, Sparks is a renowned streamer. It's good to see you. Hope all is well with you, mate. So let's keep this descent. We're meant to be level or at flight level 160 over Urkor, or Urkor. Sounds like something out of Game of Thrones. I am the Lord of Urkor. Behold, my King Air. Okay, let's keep that descent in. Oh, bacon butty, now you're talking. This stream was not meant to go on this late, but because we had some technical issues to start off with, it's running late, and it's now 1 o'clock, and I am starving. Cheers, Orbital. Take care, mate. Not got far on this now. Everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. But I'll see you in the Discord. Now we're looking. Yeah, the reason why descending on the ILS mode is so good is because it you can, like descending like this, you're building speed up. Whereas descending in IS mode, you can set your speed and descend quite nicely and calmly, and it stops you from coming in too hot. But I'm trying to descend a little bit earlier so that we don't have that issue. Because if I'm honest, I can't quite remember. I want to say... Okay. To hell with it. Everything else went wrong. Let's do it. So I'm going to... Got to do this quickly. Come out of descent mode. Put it into IS mode. There we go. And then what it will do, it's actually a little bit, so I can reduce that. There we go. So I'm just bringing the speed, IS hold speed down a little bit. We've leveled off. So I'm just using the power lever now to try and keep a nice descent rate in. But the advantage of doing it this way, as you can see, is the speed is not racking up too high. It's a little bit too low there, if I'm honest. But it's one way of doing it. So we've got a turn now. Definitely a technique I need to practice that because it's not really working the way it should do, and I think it's probably the way I've set it up. Should be a lot smoother than that. But the descent's going okay. Flight level 160 was our target, and we're coming up to that point. Let's keep that descent in. Speed is holding nicely, so we're not going to be worrying about having lots of extra speed when we are getting ready for the approach. Good. Happy with that. So our next point after flight level 160 is flight level 120 on the descent. How's the sound in the chat, by the way? Is that engine note okay? I have turned it down quite a bit. So we're level at flight level 160 now. Back in. So it's once it's reached altitude, the IAS mode has gone off, which I must remember for the future. Something I'd forgotten. Just going to try and get us up to 200 knots. Down to 12. So IAS back on the power.
Vertical track.
That's good. Nice gentle descent. And after flight level 120, it's flight level 90. Don't really want to be, ideally you'd want a nice smooth descent rather than maybe stopping off at levels. But whilst I just remember how everything works, I'm quite happy to leave it as it is. Right, we need to wind this back now. Totally forgot. Should have started this at the top of the descent. Wind it back. So increase the rate slightly and yeah. Depressurizing slightly. We're meant to be at 1200 feet and we're not quite there, so let's increase that rate of descent. Passengers in the back saying in fact, let's bob that on down to 900. Flight level 90. Keep the descent in. Speed's good, happy with that. Let's think ahead, and I need the QNH at Newcastle. I would have got it through ATC had I not had to switch it off, so I just need to get that and weather. So it's 0998. 0998. Okay. Just using Navigraph charts to get that. It's quite helpful. Handy little tool that. Because obviously this is live weather. passing through 12, coming down to 9. Possibly a little higher than we would want to be, but maybe not. But the main thing is, because we're using IS mode for the descent, my speed is nicely controlled, and we're not going to come screaming in like we're in a spit. I wish we were right now. No, I love the King Air. Oh, look at that, icing. Icing. Bum, bum, bum. Let's get some icing stuff going. Windshields. Normal. Don't worry about prop at this point. Not going to do that. Anything else I need to worry about? The engine is behaving nicely, so I'm not worried about that at this stage. Checking our altitude. We are high, so we've bust the altitude there. We're getting in trouble, and the next height we want is 3.5, and it's 3,500 feet. So first thing I'm going to do is dial it in here, and then I'm going to, what was it? It was 998, wasn't it? By the way, me yabbering, as I said ages ago, this isn't a tutorial, this is me trying to talk myself through it so I remember what to do and I don't miss anything. Okay. It does make me realise I do need to do this a lot more often. So, I've got the ILS banged in there, so that's going to be there when I need it. I'm going to put the landing lights on now. Everything else is fine. Nothing here, which is nice. More importantly, nothing here. If you weren't here at the beginning, things were playing up, and after starting we had an engine fire on engine 2, which was most disconcerting. I need that descent. I want to make sure that I'm not messing about when we get closer. The last thing I want is a load of height and a load of potential energy. Is it potential energy? In the chat, one of you must be good at the whole physics and aeronautics physics and all that kind of stuff. Is it potential energy when you're high, when you got to get down? Potential energy turning into speed is what I mean. The chat's gone very quiet, so either the chat's now broken, which wouldn't surprise me after everything else that's been going on, or everyone has just gone to sleep with my drone. Who knows? Cheers, Sparky. Good to know. Honestly, the way this thing has gone so far, I wonder if I was all on my Todd then. It has been one thing after another. It's doing that again. That pausing and the stuttering in the audio clicking, that's not had that before, so I don't know what is causing that. That's interesting. Well, it's not interesting, I'm being polite, it's really blooming annoying. Okay, so we're now coming into, come on, keep going, to alt hold mode, so just need to watch the power, just put a little bit of power on. the old thing up, so blah blah blah. That's all good. You love it when your pilot goes blah blah blah. Does that fill you with confidence? Oh, Sparky, honestly, mate, it's just been right at the start. So, using Pilot2ATC, which I keep saying I'm not going to do again on a live stream, that went wrong. Yeah, we had the engine fire, my head tracking packed up, and then the aircraft was behaving strangely. The Bendix panel over here, which of course shows you all your failures and everything, went wrong. So I think the autopilot was broken. So I cycled the avionics switches here, and everything came back to life. So at least that was working again. But yeah, it has been a pain in the neck. Right, so we need to stay here, and then we're going to descend to 2,200 feet. A while since I've done this. I wonder if I now see what that does. It tells me I'm going to regret doing that. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, I can't wait for that beyond ATC. I think that's going to be the that's definitely going to be the answer. It's great to have ATC, but when it starts playing up and it goes wrong, it's taking up. Oh, sim is frozen. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! There we go, we're back. Yeah, it takes up thinking time trying to fly the blooming thing. So everything's looking fine. Speed is good, if maybe a little slow for this part of the flight. Otherwise we're good. Where are we on pressurization? Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. We're slowly depressurizing. Happy with that. Passengers in the back will be all lovely and comfortable. Hello, what are you doing? You was just having a little rethink then. So what's that saying? 2,200 should be level at, but we're not descending. If I take out that, okay. Let's get done. At least we haven't got quite the same cloud cover now. I can actually see the ground. I love it now that AccuSeason is giving us green trees. So we're a little bit high. Yeah, course approach. I've started that mode a little bit early, didn't I? Yes, you did. Just coming around down nicely on here. Not far off where we should be on altitude. Just jockeying the power levers just to... Okay, so that's now gone to that mode. So let's take that out. So I'm now doing the altitude. And what are we meant to be at? 2,200. So we're kind of there. Oh, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. That flickering you got there, folks, that's the sun coming out in the real world and confusing the head tracking. And of course, the way this flight is going, that's only going to happen at this phase of flight. Of course it is. Why would it not happen at any other phase of flight apart from when I'm trying to land? So I might have to lock head tracking or turn head tracking off. At this stage I can't get out of my chair and actually change the yeah, okay, that's gone. Emergency head tracking removal, please. There we go. Head tracking has been removed, sir. Jolly good. Everybody settle down. Okay, come back on the speed. Let's drop the gear. Autopilot is still doing its thing. We've got approach mode on. I don't often do this, so I'm just hoping it's all going to be good. Watch the power. Yeah, I'm not so sure about Toby, Sparky. I know some people swear by it, but then I've seen other people having issues with it. I mean, it's simple. It's a simple answer with this grass monkey tracker is to actually put the blinds up. I've got a window right next to my head, so if the sun comes out, then it completely cocks it up. And the simple answer is to remember to put the blackout blind up. So I am happy with that. There's things about the Toby that I'm not really sure about. So that's all good. I'm now going to take it off autopilot, I think. Let's do it. Yeah, blackout blinds, mate. They're kind of... it's just like a thing that I stick up on the window and it completely cuts out the light. But I didn't put them on when I first started because, well, to be frank, didn't need them. But sod's law, just coming onto an approach, the sun comes out. Forgotten how different this is to fly than anything else I've got. Certainly the lag with the turbos.
$500.
A bit low. Whoa. Still low. And we are not on the centre line. Still low. Speed's good. centre line. Christ, something took us then. Wafting around all over the shop. Did touch down then, but then, oh, there we go. And that's that weird ground physics again that you get in some aircraft where the it's like the physics in the air. God, how can I describe it? Let's put some reverse in. The physics in the air are very different to the physics on the ground. So you touch down with some rudder input, and as soon as the wheel hits the ground, it thing goes, I was going to swear then, the thing goes crazy and veers all over the place. And I think that's what in the FS Reborn, FS 500, that's what they were talking about in the recommended rudder settings. I need to check that out. It seems to be for certain aircraft that you need to do that. Anyway, let's get off the runway and stop ruining people's day. Flaps up. Tracking's not working, so I can't look down at the light switches. So sorry, the strobes and the landing lights are still on. Nothing I can do about that. Anyway, that was an interesting flight. So if you didn't join at the beginning, the whole point of this flight was I'd not flown the King Air for a while. I'd not done some IFR flying for a few weeks. Last one I did was in the Comanche. And that's handy, we've got someone ahead of us. And it was really a kind of a trip for me. I do them every now and again. I load it all on, and it's a good way of finding out what your weak spots are. You're almost overloading yourself with things so that it exposes your weaknesses. But on top of that, we had some really weird technical faults, which, yeah, some of which I've not quite seen before. Certainly the King Air has always behaved impeccably, never had issues with it, and so for it to do that is odd, and I can only wonder if maybe something wasn't quite meshing nicely with the loading that I had with the sim. In normal practice, if you weren't streaming, you just start the damn thing again and have another crack at it and see if that fixes it. But anyway, if you have been here since the beginning, by the way, thank you ever so much for sticking with it. It was not pretty at the start, but it's been a nice flight in the end. Newcastle is looking resplendent there. They do a really nice breakfast here, actually. Thinking about food again, but yeah, they do a really nice breakfast. I was here just before Christmas because I had to go up to Otterburn. And yeah, it was nice. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining. It's been great having you on board. Oh, by the way, that flickering, I think that's DX. Is that DX12? I know people have talked about getting flickering with some textures, and I'm seeing it as well since I moved on to DX12. I don't know if any of you other DX12ers are doing the same thing, but I'm seeing that in a way that I never used to, and I've not got head tracking. So Alpha, I'm very sorry. I'm going to try and park next to you, but I can't look. Where are you now? Jesus. Let's come over here. Park over here. Luckily not connected to ATC, because they'd be saying, and I'm not going to do a Newcastle accent, they'd be saying, where the hell are you going? You great Egypt. There we go, bit of stuttering there. Ah, we made it. So yes, thank you ever so much for joining. It's been fun having you along, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.